Hey guys, so okay, welcome back to The Letter. We're here on Sunday, October 23. Morning dawns bright and clear the following day. Let's check out these relationship status. Looks like we're all good with everybody, or, default. Some better than others. Of course, Rebecca dropped a little bit. Hopefully we can repair that soon. Anyway, we got a meeting with Ash today. He's going to lead us to a professor who might be able to shed some light. Although the air still feels muggy and I miss the chilly autumn weather, it's one of those rare weekends when I'm up even before my alarm rings. If it isn't for Ash's call last night, I'll probably sleep in. Oh, it's like a motel, Salem Well residential residences. When 9 AM rolls around, I'm already heading downstairs, where Ash is waiting for me in his car. His hair's a disheveled mess, eyes drowsy and overall looking like he's hurried to get out of bed. Or fell out of it. Or both. He looks adorably rumpled this way. But I'm not going to tell him that. It'll only bloat his unbearable ego.
Good morning, Ash.
He makes a motion with his finger around his ear. Tone it down.
Can you even drive?
He answers me with a slight raise of his hand, a yawn, and nothing more. God. He's never been particularly fond of mornings, and for that I'm thankful to every god in the universe. Less mental capacity for him to make fun of me. Ha! There's the reason why mornings are my favorite. Oh god, these two. It doesn't take long for us to reach our destination, the small cafe situated in Luxbourne's busiest street, the same one I often visit with Becca for its cheap food. I've never gone here on a Sunday, and it's striking how different it appears without the usual weekday and Saturday rush. The atmosphere especially reminds me of something we also have back home, near the university I used to attend. I wonder what happened to it. It was being renovated before I left, so I never got to visit one last time. The place has always had a calming effect on me. But today, despite standing in a place similar to it, anxiety easily washes over me as soon as I step out of the car. I'm quite used to dealing with people I've never met before, thanks to my work, but still, I don't know him. In spite of the fact both Ash and Becca vouch for him, what will he think of me and my story? What if he thinks I'm crazy? Hell, even my own friends thought so. I draw in a breath to quell the panic beginning to rise in me. Oh well, only one way to find out. A few hesitant steps forward and then Ash is suddenly pulling me back by my elbow.
Hold on, scaredy cat, not too fast.
Whoa, what's going on? Without warning, he flicks my forehead. Hard.
That hurts. What was that for?
Why? He's already walking away when I look up, and I hurry to catch up to him, puzzled. I really don't understand this guy. At least explain why you're flicking other people's foreheads all of a sudden. It's so rude.
Get yourself together, will you? He's not going to bite. He's very accommodating, too.
I wasn't scared of him or anything.
You don't look like it. Didn't sound like you were okay last night either.
Huh?
What was that last one? Hey! Don't just ignore me.
Oh god. All questions and retorts die on my mouth once he opens the door to the shop. A cast iron bell attached to it chimes softly, announcing our arrival. The smell of freshly brewed coffee welcomes us as soon as we step in. Ah, the Zarbucks Coffee House. Like the usual, several tables and chairs have been set up for the patrons, but most of the customers present at the moment have forgotten them, in favour of the more comfortable throw pillows and beanbags the staff has laid out on the floor. Becca would love to know that they have something like this on Sundays. She's been complaining about how uncomfortable the library chairs are for a long time now. Ash leads me to a secluded spot near the window where an old man, probably in his 50s or 60s, is seated, enjoying a brew and a book. Kinda looks like Colonel Sanders.
Professor Clark.
It's just Andrew now. I'm no longer your professor, Detective Inspector Frey.
Sir Andrew, I like it. The guy, Andrew, looks up from his book and gives him a smile. A sheepish look crosses Ash's face at the older man's admonishment. More unusual, to say the least, is seeing him appear like a parent has just scolded him. But it suggests a familiarity between them, one that goes beyond what someone expects from a simple student and mentor. With another warm smile, he gestures for us to take the empty seats opposite him.
Have you been waiting long?
Quite some time. But I come here early on weekends. Best time to get their first serving of bear claws. They're the only place that serves it here. I took the liberty of ordering for you two. I hope you don't mind. I thought it'd be best to talk over a decent helping of coffee.
How nice of him. Orders coffee for us. Soon enough, a waiter brings us 2 more copies and sets down a basket of pastries.
Aren't you going to introduce the lady?
Ah, right, sorry. Isabella, this is Prof. Andrew. He's one of my professors back at the university. Andrew, this is Isabella Santos.
Santos. Portuguese? Spanish? Brazilian? Mexican?
Filipina, actually.
Filipina, actually. It's a pleasure to meet you, Professor.
Oh, good.
Your name carries a lot of history, Miss Santos. Just Andrew is fine. Don't do what Ashton's doing. He doesn't listen to this old man.
It's like my words are already in the story. It's cool. He doesn't listen to anyone more like it. The awkward tension typically present in first meetings dissipates after that. I was expecting someone strict and, to an extent, somewhat severe. But Professor Andrew Clark is definitely the opposite of what I have in mind. A more personable kind. Similar to a grandfather who'll dote on you at family gatherings. It's obvious why Ash has taken a liking to him.
Ashton tells me there's something you wish to discuss that I could help with. Let's hear it then.
Yeah, well, ghosts and stuff. I give Ash a hesitant glance, but he just nods and gestures towards Andrew with his head. He's leaving this to me. It's my story to tell, after all. I keep it short and concise. I found a letter in this old mansion, now I'm cursed. Yep. Sums it all up. Exactly as I've told Ash and Zach when they asked about it, and you wonder why they don't believe us. I don't mention the name of the place. No use saying it now that someone else legally owns it. No use dragging other people into my problems.
I'm sure it's that letter I found, but I don't know anymore. I just want to know how to escape this nightmare.
Of course. We're talking about the one in Anselm Village, aren't we?
How did you...
Don't look so surprised. There's only one place popular enough here if we're going to talk about hauntings. I once had a colleague who wrote about it and the urban legends surrounding the place. Years worth of study, but fascinating nonetheless. It's a shame he passed away at such a young age. He would have done a much better job at explaining topics like this one compared to me.
He's dead. Great.
Ashton here might disagree, but it's an interesting topic in sociology, if you care to have an open mind.
Studying the science and theory behind it is completely different from outright believing in it.
You don't believe in those stories, sir?
Now, this isn't a question of belief. All I'm saying is things like these speak a lot about a place's culture and history, and it's not just limited to ghosts. Monsters, gods, you name it. Even you, Miss Santos.
Me? I ain't no monster.
What about me?
How you respond to these stories. It tells a lot about you and your upbringing. In the same way it tells me why our detective inspector here finds such topics absurd. Interesting, isn't it?
My head is starting to spin from all this information. I'm not the smartest person around, but I understand what he's trying to get at, I think. It's still too much to take in at once. I look to Ash for help, but his eyebrows are drawn in a frown. If he keeps staring like that at his cup, I'm pretty sure it'll crack soon.
There's still something you're not telling.
Didn't I tell you everything the other day?
Yeah, but you mentioned the rights. Then you proceeded to drop the topic right after. What's with that?
They don't have anything to do with this.
Rights. Luke and Hannah, right?
Oh, great, you know him.
Yeah, they're the ones who got the place.
Ah, I'm not surprised. They're the kind who gets what they want when they set their eyes on it. From what I've heard, word gets around, especially with a pretty well-known couple like them.
A heavy sigh escapes my lips. Popular or not, they're just my clients, albeit a little bit pushy, but just clients, end of story. Wish you'll stop pestering me about them. That's not being mean. What is it again that Becca does when dealing with a particularly difficult child? Yeah, I don't want to ruin it. Like, I could just say shut up, but like, he's trying to help. I don't want to be a dick. Especially, you know, I'm having a hard time convincing them that my thoughts, right, are real. All my beliefs. The pesky annoying kind? I wish I could remember. I can certainly use the same trick right about now.
Ashton, look here. I know you're trying to help, but the deal's almost already closed.
I would really think that Isabella probably said shut up, Ash, though.
The papers are being prepared. Once it's done, it's over. I'm just their agent.
And when is that happening?
When what? Is there even a purpose to this line of questioning?
Also, it wouldn't be good to undermine Ashton in front of the professor.
Your working relationship with them. When's it going to end?
About a week from now? It depends on how long the papers will take, but they want us to rush it.
Really? You're absolutely sure about that?
Yes, really. Unless they want to buy a house again and want me and Rose to be their agent. If yes, then I don't see a problem with it. Now stop annoying me about it.
Don't accept it.
Whoa. Yo, I need the money, please.
What? Why? It's my job.
Oh lord, even my younger siblings aren't this difficult to deal with. Then again, Ash is far from a younger sibling to me. If he'll only spell it out, surely I'll understand. We won't even be having this conversation right now. That's how it is, right? Find an even ground, talk about it like adults we ought to be. It wasn't like this before. But somewhere along the way, something has changed in us. As people. As friends. Wish this way I can tell when or why. Instead, I'm left searching blindly for reasons. The next thing we know, we'll be drifting further and further apart. How frustrating.
Now, kids. Settle down. We're not going to solve anything by shouting.
Sorry, Sir Andrew.
And we're not going to solve anything either if you keep omitting things.
You're not telling me what you want, Ash.
Speak for yourself. I'm not the only one doing it.
Thank you, Isabella.
You'll have to forgive my former student, Miss Santos. He's always been the curious kind. Many people think he's lazy, but it's actually the opposite.
I'm gonna say that next time someone says I'm lazy. I'm just a curious guy.
I see that hasn't changed.
Oh, really? How is he back when he was your student? I'm sorry, I need to ask. He doesn't talk much about that.
And there's a reason why. Please don't.
Tried to sleep on the first day of class. He didn't repeat it after what I made him do when I caught him. Students like him are the easiest to deal with, once you know what piques their interest. I'd have to say, he's one of the very few who's actually interested in the subject, though. But there was this one time when...
By the end of our small conversation, Ash looks like he's praying for the ground to swallow him up. He's never been one to talk about himself. What I know about him are mostly bits and pieces I've gleaned over the years. He's an atrocious singer, he's bad at art, and he has a personal vendetta against mornings. Now it feels like he isn't that hard to figure out after all. It's past noon when Andrew has to leave us for another meeting. But before we separate...
Miss Santos, a word of advice. If this is truly what you think it is, just keep in mind that when it comes to cases such as this, they aren't always what they seem.
Psychotherapy not included, achievement unlocked. I like it. Naturally, the mansion in the letter was brought up again several times during our talk, and though Ash is right in that Andrew offers a different perspective, he's left me with more questions than answers instead. What is she? What does she want from me? Is she ever going to leave? They all continue to bug me after we've left the coffee shop. I don't even notice when Ash takes a different turn on our way back.
Where are we going? You can drop me off at the park.
Guess. You have 3 chances.
I'm serious, Ash. Where are we going?
He doesn't answer, but shortly he stops his car in front of a small, nondescript food stall, a little ways from the movie house. If I'm not paying closer attention, I'll miss it without a doubt. He motions for me to wait as he gets off the car and walks in its direction. Sheesh, if you want to buy something, just say it. No need to make yourself look mysterious. Makes you look more like a dork than cool. The wait isn't long, however. Soon he's walking back, holding 2 fish-shaped cones in both hands. Ice cream? Parfait? A cross of the two? By the time he's back inside the car, I've given up any effort to figure out what he's bought. Not that it looks bad. It's actually quite cute.
Here, take it.
I have to move my head back a little when he thrusts it at me to avoid the ice cream and the fruit toppings from ending up in my nose.
What's this for?
My arm's getting tired.
What's this? Wow, I've never seen like this before.
5, 4, 3, 2...
With a wary glance, I take it off his hands. I still don't understand why there's a need for ice cream today. Nevertheless, I take a small bite. How do you bite ice cream? I can't bite ice cream. My teeth are just so sensitive. It's actually pretty good. It must have shown in my face because he chuckles as soon as I take another one.
Saw the place open the other day when we watched Zach's movie. Thought I should give it a try.
Oh, what a gentleman.
It doesn't seem like a bad place to get food from time to time.
And you're giving me free ice cream because...
Do I need to have a reason?
Are you really going to ask me that?
Here's the thing with Ashton Frey. He does not just treat anyone to free food because he feels like it. He's that much of a Scrooge. Hell, he even asked me to teach him how to haggle once. Haggle! Of all the people who'd asked me that. I'd have expected such a request from Becca, but Ash? Not at all. If I'm going to be honest, he looks a bit constipated with that expression on his face right now. I think he's starting to regret ever buying this.
The other day? The movie with Zach and Rebecca? Rebecca's there, yeah, I think so. Yeah. Anyway, during the movie, we, that is, that's to say, we, shit, should have written down something first.
Oh god.
Get to the point, Ashton.
Right, I'm sorry.
What?
Not, I'm sorry for, not getting to the point. I'm sorry for the other day. I got carried away. I said things that upset you. I shouldn't have done that. I'm sorry.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Okay? That's all? That's all you're going to say? You're not still angry, are you?
You didn't have to buy me anything. A simple sorry would have been enough.
I bite into the cone again, a small attempt to keep myself occupied and relieve that heat crawling up my face. It doesn't work, but at least I don't have to look at him. Why am I feeling so embarrassed over a thing such as an apology? I have no idea. It's not like it wasn't called for. They were being mean, especially him. And in that fraction of a second, it hits me. He skipped his day off just for today. I should be the one apologizing and thanking him. Silence is an awkward company while we finish our respective snacks. There are words for this. For people like us. For understandings and sentiments like this. Yet, in this instant, they don't come. As promised, he drops me off at the park right after, phrases unsaid still hanging heavily in the air. In this weather, the city park gives off a lazier and more languid vibe than usual. Where children are usually seen running around and playing, there are now people lying, leaning back on their picnic blankets, simply enjoying the afternoon sun. The smell of food drifts from nearby food carts, and if the wind blows in the right direction, one will catch the whiff of freshly trimmed grass. Maybe I should try walking home today, to get my mind off things, to try and find the words somehow. I haven't done that in a while.
Thanks, Ash, for today.
No problem. Say hi to Rebecca for me.
Yeah, I will.
Even so, I linger. We both do. A mild, humid breeze brings the smell of dried leaves, warmed earth, and a far-off, distant memory. Of false starts and awkward first meetings. Same place, same people playing the same parts, though not necessarily the same time. Funny how of all the days, my brain chooses to remember it now.
Wait, Belle.
Ash exits his car, his strides are unsteady when he approaches me. Or maybe this is uncertainty showing? I'm not quite sure. He has never looked uncertain to me before. Always calm, always sure, always collected. He stops a short distance from me. Close enough that he's within an arm's reach, but just far enough for his voice to be heard over decent small talk, if this is what it's going to be. He fumbles for something in his pockets.
Here, catch.
The small bag lands cleanly in my outstretched hand before it hits the ground. What's this? A tea bag? I raise an eyebrow at him, and he responds by shrugging and stuffing both his hands back into his pockets. Somewhere to the side, he finds an interesting spot to look at. Sometimes you have to wait, Papa said long ago. For once, this time, I listen. His voice is halting, hesitant, when he finds it again.
My mom used to make me carry around one of those when I was young. To ward off evil and bring you luck, she said.
Oh.
I don't believe in this stuff now, but if it makes you feel safe since you're a total scaredy cat, then I guess it's okay to give you one to carry around.
That actually probably means more than you think, you know? It's like something that protects you, and you're giving it to someone. It's a pretty important gesture, I think. Perhaps, at the moment, there aren't any words for it. I've never been good with those. But right now, I can think of them in the best way I know how. You're not bad after all, you can be nice when you're trying. I'll do this. I close the short distance separating us, and give him a light punch on his arm. The gesture, familiar in place of phrases one can't spin together or answers too early to seek out.
See, you can be pretty nice when you're trying.
I am nice.
When you're sleeping, but thanks for this.
Don't go losing it. It brings bad luck if you do.
Wait, are you serious?
I knew there's a catch. This asshole.
Yeah, that's what they say.
You did this on purpose, didn't you? Oh, I should have known.
Not entirely, but seriously, if anything happens, tell me. I'll be around.
Before leaving, he waves at me one last time. He's back to teasing me, back to our usual routine, back to what we're comfortable with. But for all that, I believe him. I just hope. Oh, journal update. Professor Clark, Ashton Fry, and Isabella Santos met up in a coffee house to discuss the rumors surrounding the mansion. The professor warned the young woman not to take everything at face value. Before parting ways at the park, Ashton gave Isabella a charm that supposedly wards off evil to help put her mind at ease. I just hope I can keep them safe. A light wind blows again, sending dried leaves swirling and the distinct smell of the earth into the air. For the first time, the sunlight feels less harsh. Maybe a walk is good. I need to stock up my pantry too. Come to think of it, isn't there an art store that has recently opened near the park? ... Uh-oh. The cat's name is Baruthiel. Or at least that's what his collar says. It's not a name to give a cat, in my opinion. But it speaks grace, much like the one that carries it. It shows in the way he swishes his tail and his eyes follow my hands every movement. Wait, why? What's going on? I'm not sure what he finds fascinating in me, to be honest. I'm not the very picture of grace when he found me, after all. It was a bad idea, carrying 2 heavy bags of newly bought art materials and groceries without help or a sure ride home. In hindsight, perhaps I shouldn't have bought these all at the same time. I didn't even make it past the park to the nearest bus stop. And now I'm suffering underneath the glaring afternoon sun, hunched up on a park bench and drenched in sweat, in the company of a cat curiously watching my every movement. I hope it stays where it is. It's just a black cat. But back at home, they're considered ill omens.
Don't look at me like that. I can act graceful as well if I want to.
Not that I've ever acted graceful in my life, of course. Growing up with a rowdy younger brothers and sister does that. Or maybe it's the opposite. Mama used to call me a little troublemaker before. Oh well, graceful or not, there's no use moping. A short breather and then I'm off home. Besides, it isn't like company's bad, even if it's a cat. As long as it doesn't bite or crosses my path.
But where's your owner, anyway?
He has one, doesn't he? An owner? That's what the collar's for, isn't it? Bandages wrapped on one of its paws, though. I wonder what happened to it. Did he run away?
Well, if you don't have one, I won't be able to take you in. My apartment doesn't allow pets. I tried to bring one home before, a cat. Not black, of course. And Rebecca threw a fit before the landlady could.
I take a small packet of sweets from one of the bags lying beside me and pop it open. As I'm about to put it in my mouth, he meows. Oh. My hand stops.
Do you want one?
He doesn't meow again as I'm expecting him to, but I take his unblinking gaze as a yes. I shift the piece to my palm and hold it out to him warily. He sniffs it at once, twice, before...
Baruthia!
Like a good, properly trained pet, Baruthiel responds as soon as he's called. Recognition comes as soon as my head snaps up from the direction of the voice. It's Miss McCullough. Miss McCullough's hardly impossible to miss, what with her height, but most especially in the way she carries herself.
I'm sorry. Did my cat hurt you? Oh, it's you.
Well, jeez, nice to see you too. God.
Nice to meet you again, Miss McCullough.
Yeah, see? At least she said it more pleasantly than I did.
Never mind the pleasantries. Were you harmed in any way? I'm sorry. Baruthiel's not exactly fond of other people. Even run away from the veterinarian right now.
Oh no, he was just sniffing my hand earlier.
My Baruthiel's a she.
She? All this time I thought the pause in conversation, if this can be called one, is uncomfortable. We're merely two people working different jobs for the same client. Frankly, meetings like this don't happen a lot, and if it does, a simple nodding of heads is enough. Still, trying to be friendly won't hurt, right? Let's talk about her cat. I keep my tone cordial and warm. Oh god. Whoops.
I'm actually surprised you have a cat, Miss McCullough.
And why exactly is that? There are a lot of people who have their own pets.
Yeah, but not a black one. I'm amazed you're taking care of one.
I don't understand what you're trying to get at. Is there a problem with my cat?
Oh my god, no.
No, not at all. She's very sweet. Just in other cultures, aren't they a sign of bad luck?
Back at home it is. My grandmother used to tell several stories about it, and...
Nothing has happened to me so far.
Well, isn't it bad luck in most cultures? A black cat crossing your path. Displeasure is evident on her face. Ah, of course. I've forgotten that for other people, black cats are an omen of good luck. There you go again, running your mouth off, Isabella. I rack my brain for her way to remedy the situation, but she holds out a hand.
This is a good place to stop and end this conversation, don't you think so?
Okay, sorry, bye.
It is good to see you again, Miss Santos.
Yeah, okay. A complete dismissal if I've ever heard one. I watch her as she leaves, though she stops shortly before crossing the threshold separating the park and the street. She faces me again, looking like there's something else she's forgotten to say.
By the way, about the Ermengarde Mansion, with my clients, it's the rights. I mean, I hope you don't mind me asking, but has the deal been finalized?
Oh, now you want to be all bloody friends and kosher and shit.
There's still a few papers they need, but the house is more or less theirs now.
Ah, thank you. That's all I needed to know.
Wait, about the mansion.
The letter. The same one they saw. Whoever she is, she's asking for help. Someone. I want to tell Miss McCullough that the urban legends aren't just legends anymore. They're real. She's not going to believe me.
Don't mind me. I need to go too. Have a good day, Miss McCullough.
I hasten to pick all the bags I've left on the bench and run as far as my legs can take me. In that moment when I'm carrying my hands weigh far lighter than the overwhelming guilt trying to consume me. Home. I want to be home. Anywhere where I won't be reminded of the house. Of her. Of my own cowardice. God, what a day. Started off well, then we kind of screwed it up towards the end there. While looking after a lost cat, Isabel Santos met the interior designer Marianne McCullough by chance. She also happened to be the cat's owner. The two were seen having a small talk before Isabella abruptly left. The food tastes less appetizing tonight. A pity. One will think that someone who has been on a continuous binge of instant noodles will find a home-cooked meal like this enjoyable. But it isn't. Hunger isn't what's gnawing at me tonight. Neither are my sore muscles. The TV runs loudly in the background, but what it says barely registers in my brain. It's hard when the thing you keep trying to forget keeps returning to the forefront of your mind. It distracts you, eats at you, devours you. I wish this would stop. I wish I wasn't the one who picked it up. I wish it was somebody else.
In other local news, a woman was found dead in her home yesterday evening. Luxbourne police officials are currently investigating the crime scene, but has classified the case as homicide.
Huh?
The victim, identified as Rose Pamela Cooper, 33 years old, working as a real estate agent.
Oh my god. I just realized it would probably be Rose as soon as I pressed the spacebar. I freaking just got shivers right now. Rose?
Discovered lying in a pool of blood in her two-bedroom flat with the words "Help me" repeatedly written on the walls.
Holy shit. No. No. This isn't what I want. This isn't supposed to happen. None of this is supposed to happen. No one's supposed to die. Those are just stories, right? Legends? That's what everyone keeps telling me. So why? And I immediately rushed to my study table and searched on my phone. My hand, cold from dread, clung tightly to it as I touched its edges. A piece of folded paper, the letter, lying unassumingly beside it, slips to the floor when I pick the device up. But I pay it no mind. There are more important things. Right now, I need to call her. I need to call her. I was with her. I was just with her not too long ago and she was okay. No. This isn't Rose. I'm sure of it. I just talked to her and... A sob escapes me and hot tears begin to blur my vision. One after another they trickle down, weighted by that very same guilt I refuse to admit I've been carrying from the start. The same one I've been hiding from. The same one that's put people I care about in danger. My hands shake as I navigate to Rose's number on my contacts list. She'll answer, right? That's what she always does. She'll pick it up, tell me to turn down the waterworks, and call me a wuss afterwards.
She'll answer. Please answer, Rose.
Again and again I dial, whispering, praying, pleading.
Come on, Rose. Don't do this to me. Please pick up. I know you're there, Rose. You're not dead. Please tell me you're not.
This adds to the series of deaths and disappearances that has plagued Luxbourne in the recent years. The authorities are currently looking at a possible link with the notorious Anselm Butcher case.
That was on the news screen as well, by the way, the Anselm Butcher case. What does that mean? The TV runs loudly in the background. A deafening static sounds from my phone's speakers, but in my ears I can only hear the screams. Her pleas, her whispers. Oh, fuck's sake. We are not safe. A buzzing sensation jolts me awake. Oh my god, what the hell? Rose, what the hell happened? News broke of Rose Cooper being found dead in her flat that evening before. The authorities classified the crime as homicide, possibly linked to the notorious Anselm Butcher, a mysterious serial killer who had committed brutal murders over the years and left their bodies with the signature phrase, "Help me." Oh my god. My body wants to sleep still, to forget what I heard, what I saw last night. But it's there, nudging, prodding at me. Slowly I become aware of how awkward my position is, and the aches that accompany sleeping in a curled up position the night before. If I've even slept at all. The memories are impossible to forget now that Rose is gone. They say it's easier when you say it out loud, instead of the words weigh heavier on me each time. She's gone. Gone because of me. Gone because of the one letter I was too curious to look at. I should have been more careful. I should have just kept my mouth shut. I should have destroyed it before anyone else has gotten involved. I should have... The notification light on my laptop blinks incessantly, mockingly when I look at it, as if it's calling me back to a sense of normalcy. I check it nevertheless, out of habit more than anything. To all BRC employees, in light of recent events... In light of the recent events... Sorry. Bit of a typo there. There will be an all-staff emergency meeting from 1 PM to 2 PM. Attendance is a must. Company changes, new hierarchy and policies will all be discussed during the meeting. Everyone is expected to bring a copy of their own attendance logs and sales reports for the last 6 months to be submitted to your respective managers for review. We are expecting everyone's cooperation. Thank you, Joan Ellis Schultz, BRC HR Manager. HR is evil, can't trust him. If this were one of those typical days, I'd happily comply and get myself to our office. Today my limbs just feel heavy. On one hand, going will keep me busy, taking my mind elsewhere. On the other, the place in itself is a stark reminder of what my own fears have cost me. Maybe I'll just... I can't stay at home. I don't feel safe staying at home. I gotta go to work. Moping won't get me anywhere. It's just like one of those things, isn't it? You deal with it with a smile, no matter how things get bad, and hope for the best. Although my whole body feels like lead, and my limbs are sore, I push myself away from the chair and head for the shower. The letter I dropped on the floor last night flutters open as I pass by, unfolding for no one else but me to see. Every word written on it glares at me. They sneer. They ridicule, like living beings fully aware of what they've done. With a huff, I pick it up and shove it in my bag, perhaps with more anger and frustration than I'm used to showing. This too, I'll deal with. Somehow, I'll find a way, and make things right. I have to, before it takes more people away from me, even if I must do it on my own.